Hey everybody, and welcome back to another LeetCode video. This one is 412, Fizz Buzz. Fizz Buzz is a very classic programming question. I've never seen it in a real interview, but it's one that you hear about a lot and you've probably seen in programming books. So we got to take a look at it. It's an easy level program on LeetCode, and maybe you'll see it as like a warm-up soft toss kind of question in the beginning of a phone interview. So just looking at the description, we're looking at we have to write a program that outputs the string representation of numbers from 1 to n. But for multiples of 3, it should output fizz instead of number, and for multiples of 5, output buzz. For numbers which are multiples of both 3 and 5, fizz buzz. So if we look at the example, n being 15, we're going to do 1, 2, 3 is going to be replaced by fizz because it's divisible by 3. It's a multiple of 3. 4 is going to be itself. 5 will be buzz. 6 will be fizz. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Multiple 3. And then the first fizz buzz that we'll encounter here is 15 because it is divisible by both 3 and 5. So just thinking about what we need here, we're going to have an array of strings. So we can have an array of strings here just to hold our answers. And then what I'm thinking is we can just iterate through a loop starting from I equals 1 up until n, and then keep incrementing that, and we can do division to see whether we want to output that number as a string or fizz buzz or fizz buzz. So simply enough, we can say we have another variable, just call it I, starts at 1. So simply enough, we can just do a while loop. We have to make sure to look at less than and equal to our upper bound, which is n, because we are starting at 1. So we want 1 through 15. And then what we're going to do is if we can start off by saying if I remainder 3 is equal to 0, which means it's a multiple of 3, then we want to do output that append capital Fizz, else if I remainder 5 equals 0, we want to do buzz. And actually looking at this, it makes sense that for a number like 15, it's going to be both divisible by 3 and 5, and we don't want to append fizz and buzz and fizz buzz. So the first thing that we should be checking is if I remainder 3 equals 0, as well as I remainder 5 is 0. In that case, we want to append fizz buzz, and then that way we won't fall through. We would never reach that other case otherwise. So say if it's divisible by both 3 and 5, if it's a multiple of both 3 and 5, output fizz buzz. If it's a multiple of 3, output fizz. And if it's a multiple of 5, then we want to append just buzz. Cool. And then the very last condition is if none of this is true, then we just want to output string representation of that number. So we would just output append I. And the last important thing that we want to do is increment I, because we are in a loop, and otherwise this would never terminate. So we're going to increment I, and then we're going to return our output. Cool, so let's submit and see what the time complexity looks like. Okay, not blazing fast. There's definitely ways to maybe shorten it syntax-wise, but ideally, generally time complexity-wise, we're going to have to go through all numbers, so it's always going to be linear in time complexity, so big O of n. And space-wise, we're going to always have to keep an array of strings that represents everything. So there's not really a more optimal way to do this. Either way, we're looking at both linear time and space. And this would be like a quick little warm-up that you could expect on a phone interview, and probably nothing more than that. I couldn't see you getting this in a live interview, and if you got this question in a phone interview, you'd expect you to be doing at least one more question. So if you have any questions, just leave a comment below. If this video helped you, please like it. If you want to see other LeetCode videos, go ahead and subscribe and check out my playlist of LeetCode questions. And thank you again for checking out my video. See you guys on the next one.